Good morning from Universal. I'm here for something really special and maybe exclusive. Even though Halloween Horror Nights is canceled, they decided to open up 2 of the houses this weekend. Bride of Frankenstein and a Tooth Fairy one. My goal is to do the Bride of Frankenstein one right away. But first, coffee. I haven't ever been in this Starbucks that's at City Walk. It's huge and pretty. And I think it's time for my first pumpkin drink of the season. And this whole wall has kind of where they get all their coffee beans from. It's very industrial looking. I like it. So the park opens at 9 and it's a little after 8. There's crowds. I'm a little worried. And I always use this bridge as kind of like a gauging points for how the crowds are gonna be. And this is more people than I thought would be here right at 8 a.m. But let's see. We can come into the park, but we can't go past Despicable Me because it's early park admission for those that are staying at some of the Universal resorts. So just hanging out for 30 minutes and then trying to figure out which one is the bride's house because there's 2. I love seeing her on all the merchandise. I might just have to get this original shirt. And starting today, they have something called Scarecrow Stock. So there's 13 different scarecrows and skeletons around the park and you have to find them. And then this is what is right in front. So what you do with this is you actually get stamps at each location. So you can see I got the Universal Studios store stamp. But yeah, you just go around and get all the stamps and then you get candy as a prize. And the candy, of course, can vary. But I think this is a fun activity to do here at Universal. I know over at Islands of Adventure, they're doing trick-or-treating, but I think it's just on the weekends. And this is kind of the checking point here for the early park admission. So I'm just hanging out by the Blue Men and waiting till 9 so I can go in and hopefully the Bride of Frankenstein house is the first one. So I can just go and experience it. I'm very excited. So the houses are for this weekend only. However, I think if it goes well, that they'll continue to do it for the Halloween season. I'm not sure if anything else will be happening. There is a stage that's set up kind of close to La Bamba. So maybe they'll have a show. I don't know. But it would be cool to have a mini version of Halloween Horror Nights since the whole event's kind of taken away for this year. And it was such a big year for its 30th. So we'll see how this weekend goes. I know that they're doing annual pass holder previews today. And then it's going to be kind of like a virtual queue for the weekend. And just a quick look at the crowd level. It's getting busy. So I'm going to take a guess that this is the bride's house. There's a lot of people. So let's see how long this actually takes. And we're actually unveiling it for the first time. I think it is Bride of Frankenstein house, if they can get it. It is Frankenstein. They're taking a long time. This is funny. I'm in the line, and even being in the line gets me very excited. I've spent many times through this line. I'm so ready. And then I think that is a new food truck option right there. And from a picture I saw, it looks like Frankenstein themed. So I'll try to catch that on the way out. And of course I cannot film inside, so I will just have to tell you my reactions after. But I have a feeling I'm really gonna like this house. So there are about 6 groups ahead of me. I am so excited to be one of the first to go through this house. Hopefully when we're out of the house, the sign will be out and I could take a better video of it because they couldn't just figure it out, but it's okay. All right guys, I'm about to go in. I will let you know my thoughts after, but I am so excited and a little nervous, just a little bit. To keep parties separate in the house, they have us using these glow sticks and we actually give them back at the end of the house so they can see how many of us are actually in there, which is good because I think they're gonna space us all out, which is nice and it's extra scary. really quick, this is what they are serving at the food truck right outside of this house. That house was awesome. There was so many nods to the other monsters, like Frankenstein, of course, and Creature from the Black Lagoon. It felt a lot like the Gothic house that they had a few years back, where they had gargoyles kind of like flying over. They had the flying happen once or twice, but not over, kind of like on the side. And all of the characters are wearing face masks. There's also like plexiglass separating you between them, so it's all completely safe. And the glow stick thing is a good idea, because then they can actually see how many people are in there. And they were able to get it down a little bit so you could see the Bride of Frankenstein live. So the beginning starts out kind of like Scary Tales, where the bride is actually at the top. It kind of looks like she has just emerged. And then you go through a very Gothic looking house. I loved it. They had the stained glass windows. It felt like you were in the mansion where the bride was created. I think it's very interesting to see how they adapted the house after the fact of everything we didn't expect to be going through still. With the plexiglass especially, because that really does keep distance even though you're kind of close to them. So I guess the true test will be this weekend. How successful it will be. I think it'll be okay. I mean, they definitely were doing a good job of keeping space in there. I do think that there was more spots for scare actors to be, and because of everything going on, maybe they eliminated half of them. There were glass coffins that didn't have anything in them, so it's just a guess that maybe they don't have their full staff for the house. So you can see all of the cars coming in. It's gonna be a busy weekend. I have a feeling it might reach capacity today. If not today, definitely tomorrow. Sorry I didn't get to do the Tooth Fairy house. It wasn't the top of my priority. The bride was, and I'm really happy about that. We actually, during our quarantine, were watching some of the classic Universal monster movies, and Bride was one of them. The bride is really only in the last 10 minutes of the movie, even though the actor is throughout the movie. So it's cool to see the bride get her very own house. And yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. It felt like Halloween Horror Nights a little bit. It smelled like Halloween Horror Nights a little bit. So yeah, very enjoyable morning. Please leave me a comment down below on if you're gonna go this weekend and experience it, or if you think that Universal will continue to offer these daytime horror experiences. I'll see you next time on Lauren's Travels. Bye!